Hi guys, welcome to Workout with Di, and this week we have another workout, and this week is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a foam roller workout, so it's just going to be something you can do for self-myofascial release, just to promote flexibility and mobility in the muscles and in the joints. So you're going to need a foam roller, and there's going to be all different kinds of foam rollers, so choose one that works for you. If you're a beginner, you might want to use the white one like I have here. If you're more used to foam rolling, you might want the blue or the black one, or one with the little bumps all over it. So choose one that works for you, and let's start off with a calf foam rolling. So you're going to have the foam roller under the calf, and you can do single or both legs. I'm showing you the both leg version, it just saves time. So you're just going to roll back and forth, just as I am here. Now you'll notice that my hands are a little further back. That's because my body, my torso, is a little longer than my arms. So you're going to find the position that's comfortable for you. For some people, it might be better off with your hands nearer towards your hips. For me, that doesn't work. I just don't have the leverage to push myself up. So remembering to keep the back nice and long, don't compromise your form. And you want to find that point of tension, that little knot of adhesion, and then hold it for 30 seconds. So you want to try and roll for 30 seconds and then find that sweet spot, that spot that's a little uncomfortable, and then hold it. Alright, we're going to move on to the hamstrings. Same kind of deal, rolling back and forth along the hamstrings. So you want to be rolling just above the knee to just right under the butt. Rolling for 30 seconds, and then you want to find that point, that spot where you feel a little tension, and it shouldn't be super painful. If it's really painful to the point that you want to cry, then that's probably your body telling you to back off a little bit. I personally would go like above or below that point and just try and either continue rolling it out or try and relieve the tension just above or below that point of tension. So remembering to breathe throughout the whole thing. So even though it's a little uncomfortable, you still must breathe. Breathing will help a little. If it is uncomfortable, breathing will help. Okay, so we're going to come over, face down, and we're going to do the quads. So similar thing, you're just going to have that foam roller underneath the quads, keeping the belly in on this one. Keep the belly nice and engaged, keeping that core engaged for the quads, and just rolling back and forth. And this is also a good core workout. Just rolling back and forth. And you can see here I have my toes down, but you can have your toes up. Toes up is going to be a little more pressure. So there's always going to be an option to relieve some of the pressure. So finding that point of tension. Holding, 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 breathing through it. Trying not to hold your breath. And foam rolling is a great thing to do before and after a workout. Okay, we're going to come over onto the IT band. You're going to come over onto your side for the IT band, for the abductors. So the bottom leg nice and long underneath, and the top leg is just stepped over in front and a little bent. Try to keep nice and long in the spine. Try not to collapse through the shoulder. And you want to be rolling from the top portion of the thigh, somewhere like midway down the thigh. And you can feel free here to roll forward and backwards as well. Maybe your point of tension is a little further backwards than mine is. Maybe it's a little further forwards. This is a great stretch, a great foam rolling for runners and cyclists. So you're going to switch sides and do the other side. Now there is some controversy as to whether foam rolling does help the IT band, as it is, you know, there is a muscle like deep underneath, but the IT band itself isn't muscle, it's fascia. So because of the lack of muscle tissue and blood flow, you really have to think about whether this is right for you. If it's, for some people, this can be absolutely like cringeworthy, crying painful. So, you know, really think about whether that's the right foam rolling for you, and maybe look at the underlying cause of that tension rather than just addressing the issue with foam rolling. So I have my little helper out here today, and I've included some more footage on the end because I know some of you really like to see Pixel. So I added a few minutes on the end because I had to take some breaks because he was pretty demanding, that he wanted some fuss today. Some days he is just super fussy. And Sky was in the doorway crying. I guess she's just, some days she's just jealous, I don't know. But she was not happy. But Pixel loves his fuss, so I included that footage on the end, so check that out at the end. So let's get back to the foam rolling. We're going to be doing the piriformis, which is that little muscle in the glute. So right underneath your glutes is the little piriformis. So you have one foot on the opposite knee, and then you're going to lean in to that knee that's lifted up. And you're going to really try and work through and try and really push into the glute to get down into the piriformis. And it's also good for the glutes. It stretches out the glutes nicely too, and massages through the butt. Piriformis can really be an overused muscle for how big it is. It's a really tiny muscle, but it really likes to take over in a lot of squats and stuff, so and this is one that I really do struggle with. It's quite painful for me to do sometimes, especially on this side. So again, you're gonna put the foot on the opposite knee and then lean into that knee that's raised. And again, you know, you might want to like shift forward and backwards, side to side. You want to find that point of tension. And you might have tension on one side and not another. That's going to be normal too. But again, similar to the IT band issue, if you're finding that your piriformis is really painful to foam roll, then you really have to think about why it's tight, why it's tense, why it's painful. Maybe it's doing too much work in your squats because your glutes aren't strong enough. You really should be thinking about, you know, how your body's feeling during the foam rolling. Alright, so I put Pixel to one side for a little bit, so we're going to come into the lats. So you're going to be on your side, starting off with that foam roller just underneath the armpit. You got that top leg in front. Now for me, this is a pretty painful foam rolling. I can feel this just like by lying on the foam roller, so if you wanted this harder, you can lift up the hips. That would be a little more pressure onto the foam roller. That would be a little harder, but for me, hips down, that's plenty. And again, you can, maneuver your body like forward and backwards on the foam roller. Maybe you're moving side to side. Just because you don't feel it in the exact position that I'm in, that doesn't mean to say that you can't move a little. Maybe you're going to be leaning a little further backwards. Maybe you're leaning a little further forwards. So again, really think about your positioning. There's no exact science to this. Every body is going to be different, and you're going to be different side to side. For me, I think this side is a little looser, not as tight, so I can lift my hip up more. And also here, you see me moving my arm about as well. That can affect the lat positioning too. So if you're in a position and you think, oh, okay, that feels okay, then try moving the arm about. Move it forward, move it back, move it up, move it down. All these little tweaks in body positioning are really going to affect how it feels. And again, remember to breathe through the whole thing. Trying not to hold your breath. So here I'm just seeing if there's any other points of tension. And I think I'm okay. But for me, that left side is way easier than my right, but I'm right-handed, so that might have something to do with it. Okay, so adductors. So working through that inner thigh. So you're going to be lying face down with one knee up, and then just placing the foam roller underneath the thigh of the knee that's bent. And then you're just going to roll side to side, rolling through from the knee to the hip. A little hard to see, but... And for me, this isn't really a point of tension, but I'm really trying to improve on my flexibility of my inner thighs, so I'm still going to include it into my foam rolling routine. So if you're doing any yoga or anything like that, foam rolling is definitely going to help. And then you're going to switch sides if you don't have a dog in your face. And again here, I have my knee bent. You can feel free to straighten that leg. Maybe you need to straighten it to get a little more of a stretch and feel the tension. Maybe you need to lift the hips up. And again, breathing through the whole thing. No holding the breath, breathing through the whole thing. You see me talking to Pixel, blowing him some kisses, getting a face wash. I do hold my breath through that bit. Okay, so that was a foam rolling routine, and you know, feel free. Maybe you need to do this every day, maybe you need to do just a couple of these exercises. But if you like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe in my channel. I put out new workout videos every Wednesday. And don't forget, if you want to see more of Pixel, continue watching after the credits for more of Pixel the Dalmatian. So don't forget, you can find me on social media at Workout with Di on Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on my blog at workoutwithdi.com. So I have started running with Pixel occasionally. We've done a couple of runs now, and we haven't been for a week because he tripped me up last week. He just darted right in front of me, and I landed flat on my face. That was not fun. And then yesterday, he decided to headbutt my knee. So I've been taking it easy today, because it's been a little painful to do any squats or lunges. But he's a clumsy one. He definitely is a clumsy boy. And Pixel is around 3.5, and he's a rescue. We got him from a rescue group in Antelope Valley. And yes, he is all Dalmatian. And yes, he loves his mommy. And it's weird because people always say that dogs don't like being hugged. I don't know, you just read that online or whatever, but he really just loves being snuggled. I mean, he loves being hugged. He just lays on top of me, like literally on top of me like a blanket, when I'm on the sofa. So he'll just stand there forever, basically, being hugged. And he does stand beautifully. He does have the softest fur. He has really soft fur. Really soft ears. I don't know what it is with dog ears, but they are super velvety soft. And yep, that tail is always going. Which is sometimes a bit of a bind in the house because it knocks things over all the time. And just when you think he's done, he's going to come back. And that's Pixel. Yep, I'm just going to stand here, get in the way. He is the star of the show after all, right?